Hello everyone, welcome back to Sin's Gaming Reviews with Sin, that's me, playing Hearts of Iron 4, and I'm gonna start a new game. Now this is a fresh game with the 1.10 patch, the Red Ball Express or something. So this time I want to have a safe game that started in a beta, so I'm sure that there won't be any fuck ups. So let's see. I played just as the Soviets, where I conquered at least Europe. Italy, I conquered the world, more or less, unless except Americas. I never played as France, United Kingdom, and Germany actually. When the first game I ever played was Germany, but I got my ass kicked, so to speak, because I did not have any idea how this game works. So of course, not more than just the basics. Uh, yeah, I won with this one. So I'm going to try Germany because I've seen the Germans, the AI, it can be very bad. But I think that's mainly because out of one thing I notice is that the United Kingdom, they will, let's say, put it easily, invade Germany over from here, which historically seen would be rather suicide because it would be just impossible to do. Too easy to spot and everything, and this would not just work. Especially since the Germans were pretty well equipped here, they had from not only the troops but also the anti-air and the anti-naval and everything. They're all their main neighbors here, so that would be just impossible. But nonetheless, the computer does it. So we will have to account for that fact. We're gonna start. Gonna start the game. Uh, I'm going to start in Iron mode. So yeah, I either win or lose. So I don't know what this is. So yeah, let's start. No. Okay, I have to save once, then play, I guess, and then quit and save. Okay. So with Germany, we're starting out with not so many troops. I don't think we have anything left in the world except here. So we're going to. You can see it, the one of the important things in their trees is this here, because that will add 12 civilian factories in rather short time. And also then down the line we come to the extra research slot. But first for the west wall you need this one, and for this one you better have the west wall. And I mean, for the west wall you better do this. So we're going to go with the Rhineland, then the Reichsautobahn, and then the west wall, and then the industrial effort. So this is alright. Now the civilian factories, we have 16 available for construction. Again, we will get 12 from the national focus. So we're just going to, let's see how many. We have 40 military factories. So I'm not sure this is that could be worth. Yeah, I think I will construct 4 of these. This way we have some oil and rubber as a base, because right now 40 military factories should be fine. Then because we don't have many resources anyway, so I mean, we have lots of some resources, but not a lot of all. Then this one, and we can this one. Now for the troops, or actually for the Navy. As you can see, we have 2 submarine, so we use them. Oh my god. And the Kriegsmarine is not very strong at this time, and they are really just useful as home defense, since the British, they have total, this is the Ostsee, East Sea, this one here. It's called Baltic Sea, but it's East Sea is here. Northern, east, west, no, north, east, south, west. So don't expect the German army to be of much use unless you're really willing to build it up. But the problem with the Navy, with naval warfare, is that you really have to commit to it. It takes you, I mean, especially for Germany, because it will eat up all of your oil. Steel is not a big issue, but oil. As you can see, we don't have any oil when we produce 4 oil, so from here. But everything else we have a lot of aluminium, we have a lot of steel, and everything else we have to import. So if you build a lot of ships, you need a lot of oil, which then means that you can build less vehicles, like tanks, for example. And yeah, it's easier to defend the coast than to try to own the sea. And it's also, I find it more easier to defend the sea with naval bombers and close air support planes, because they can they're easier to maintain and then less likely to get destroyed, because ships, once they're destroyed, it's very hard to rebuild them, because they take a long time and you cannot get better at building them. They don't have this, they're always the same, so no matter what, they will just, as you can see, everything here is blocked because I don't have any oil. So yeah, anyway, enough about that. Now I will rearrange my troops a little bit. Yeah, 30. I'm now gonna build an army, and for example, I'm gonna take away all the tanks and the Verfügungstruppe, which means they are I think infantry with artillery. That's nice, I guess, but I only have one. Yeah, let's see, just the infantry, normal infantry divisions. Not more than 20. Not the Gebirgsjäger like this. This is our army, then this here will be. As you can see, also we have all equal 3. That's interesting. Von Manstein, and this here will be our home protection, whatever, with a garrison. So we garrison these areas here. That's all we really need. Just so they do something. Yeah. Now our troops are all fully equipped. That's something interesting. So let's see, we will start with training panzer divisions. Let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. Give them to Brandenburg because why not? And we did this 4 times. Then a couple of these. A couple of these. 2, 4, 6, 8. Also 4 times. And yeah, why not? It's an interesting fact, at least I still believe it's a fact, that most of the German army at World War II at outbreak was still cavalry and not motorized. It only eventually got faded out the horses, but most things was still going on with horses, horse carriages, artillery and everything. And only the tank divisions really had motorized infantry as well. That was pretty new at the time. And that was also when they motorized the tanks, especially the tanks, of course that would be a major factor in the initial success of the German army, with the problem being that the German army, if it didn't move, then it had to move to be successful. When an army if a tank army is not of much use if you cannot move. Let's unpause the game, because it's really for mobile warfare. So now for the time being I won't use all of this. I just will use 2 from here, 1 here. I mean, it doesn't matter. I will have a little deficit at first, but it doesn't matter much, because I will have, it's better to produce those, and then we will get eventually to the needed resources. So now it's of course the time to, yeah, we can move this as well. I like to have the planes all in reserve and then deploy them where we need them. So yeah, also I like to deploy the planes in groups of 100. I'm not sure that it is better or whatever. It seems 100 seems not bad. I mean, it seems like 100 is something that the computer can handle. I don't know if I put 200 or 400 in one squadron, if that will make a difference or not. But I think it's also from an organizational viewpoint. It's just easier to keep track and easier on the eyes. Well, now we wait for our national focuses to be done. Yes, something I always give the upgrade the lowest priority because I think it's more important that all divisions are at full strength before being upgraded. Because if I have half full divisions that getting upgraded, it just means it replaces one thing with another instead of added. So instead of a division with 2 tanks from like light tank 1, I will end up with a division of light tank 2 but only 1, something like this, if that makes any sense. Let's see if the division at current state has 10 light tank 1s, and then it prioritizes the upgrade. That means it will replace those 10 tanks with 10 light tank 2s. But if the division could handle 20 light tanks, it would still first replace the tanks and then add 10 more, which, yeah, it's not really. Now, this is something that I find very important, is to keep Spain nationalist. Not that one, this one. For example, I can send volunteers, I can send 2. So I will build a unit. Yeah, because we don't have any. Yeah, let's give them also order to protect the fatherland, or motherland, now fatherland, because it's just something nice to do. But now we will. The tank divisions, they are full. So we will take 2 of those tanks, give them another army, and then we will send those, give them to Roma, not the French. And then we can send them those tanks, because if nothing else, they can gain experience, which then will become of use later. So we move on. Then with Germany, the problem I think is basically that they have a very strong attack, especially against static enemies, like what happens to the French, or superior against the Polish, but the Polish really didn't have an army to stand against the Germans. And also the Russians to some degree, because the Russians, they were basically saved by the sheer size of their country. I mean, the Germans, they were attacking so fast that, yeah, they stretched their supply lines really thin, which meant that everything that went wrong behind their lines would make a huge impact in their front lines. I mean, imagine, this is Germany, the size of Germany. Just imagine, here's the industrial basis. Everything has to go over here, then through Poland, which again is the width of Germany again itself, and then once again the distance from all through. I mean, it's like 3 times Germany to go until Moscow, where the front. I mean, Stalingrad even worse. Moscow is closer. The German army was here in Stalingrad. Imagine all these lines here, and Moscow there, and here Leningrad. The front was like this, down here and down here, and then I don't know where exactly here, but if they actually went over here or not. But there's a huge front line with huge supply lines, which then had to be protected as well. I mean, that's another thing. And yeah, so now yeah, I don't care about that. Or now we go with the Autobahn, and we also have here That's actually the second best. I did not even... Okay, that would be better. Anyway, captain of industry, refinery construction speed plus 10%. So we go with this one. So yes, what we're up? Just yes, we have our troops here. So we will put them to good use. So for example, we could go right away here. So now we will get Bilbao, because as I see it here, there is not much resistance, and this way we can focus after of Madrid. Now this is actually something that I have not experienced with now, so this could be interesting, especially with the whole building. I mean, but here again, you see there's just one troop that just runs around unchecked and just conquers empty space, I guess. Which, I mean, why are they not defending? Oh well. So we're just going like this. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, that's because now we have split this again. So what else we have here? I have no idea actually what trade till opinion factor means. I mean, I don't know. That's political power gain. That's good for later when we start to build the military factories. But for now we go with the silent workers because it will increase our political gain, which means we can political advisors and everything else faster. So that's a good thing, I've been told. So now they're here. This one is fighting here, so that's good. Dockyards, yeah, that's, I don't care. Yeah, this I care. So now we get faster researchers, and again, this as well. That just adds a flat bonus to our research times, which is always nice. So here we have our army stop again. So now we go attack this, and yeah. Yeah, that's good too. Now we go. What can we go? Yeah, let's go for here. We're going to cut through here. We're going to get. What is it? Valencia. We're going to go for Barcelona. Like this. But because it's really the civil war here is really about victory points, because you don't have to destroy the enemy. That makes no sense, because you are, after all, I mean, they are, after all Spaniards. And in a civil war, you usually don't want to eliminate the others. You just want to convince them that your reason is better than theirs. Which usually happens through force, of course. So it's because I am stronger than you, that means that I am more right than you. Which, of course, in itself is a stupid thing to say, but that's sadly the nature of, I'd say, humanity, but it's just it's the nature of nature. Nature was always about eat or be eaten, and yeah, we're still a bit stuck in that kind of thinking, I guess. That we think that if we are stronger than the other guy, that means that we are more right. I know it's stupid. But well, that's all going fine. Now, as I want to say is, yeah, if Spain is going nationalist, then they won't. I mean, they won't be of any help in the war later. But if you have fascist regime here, then first of all, France will always have an eye on them, which means they will put more troops here. I don't think they will. I think they will put troops here anyway. But if you have Republican Spain, then they are communists, which then of course will be of more danger, of more of a hindrance than if they were fascists. So we go put this, the west wall, which will give us a strong front line over here, because just to be clear, here, that's also something that the computer usually fails at, is they try to attack this Maginot line, which is fully bunkered. I mean, look, this is the 10-10, 10-10, 10-10. This line is fully blocked. That means that your troops will have just like one attack to against them. They won't die attacking, they just won't do anything at all. So that's, for example, we're going to research paratroopers, which were something that the Germans really excelled at. And now here, because we will get, or we can be bombed, I will go with this. So again here, yeah. So yeah, that's my wife that keeps sending me messages. It's 3 a.m. in the morning and she's working. Haha. Really annoying, actually. Not, she, her, but sending this message. I hate the sound of these messages coming. So yeah, the Spanish war should be over soon, because when we have, yeah, we have Barcelona. Oh my god, I'm gonna mute that sound. Like this. Yeah, let's get more resources. As you can see, we already have built one of the refineries, or whatever that means. What is? Yeah, synthetic refinery. And the second is coming. Once we have built this, then we are, with the trade of course, in a positive here, and rubber as well soon. So yeah, now we're getting really moving on. Because with these 12 factories, that means that we have building two buildings at the same time, which means then we can soon switch to full military factory production, based mainly. But we will also, like I said, we will also construct a couple of fortifications, especially in this area, to prevent the English to get a foot there if ever we comes to war, which is inevitable anyway. Okay, this is all in our hands. Now we go down here, front line. We just build one front line like this, and we paint an offensive line like this to get quickly to Valencia. Now this one here we have to look, because yeah, don't change this unless you really know what you're doing, because I don't think we can really export anything. So we go to neutral, and here we have industrial research time, which is 10. Yeah, let's go with industrial research time, so we can build stuff faster. So here we go, attack. Yeah, as you can see, the nationalists pretty much dominate the Republicans. And here is where we took Valencia, so that's good. And now we will go down here to Murcia. I mean, I think my units are the only tank divisions in this whole thing, which I guess makes it so much easier for them to just run away. And they're light tanks, so light tanks, they are, you see that these are light tanks, tank 1 or tank 2. That's a good question, actually. I mean, there are, yeah, Panzer 2. Yeah, I think the Panzer 1 only had like one little gun in front and was really useless. Even the tank 2, there was not of much use. I mean, it was, of course, of use against soft targets, but anything that had any kind of armor would be, yeah, resistant to that. So that's about it for the Spanish. So we go wait for the return of our troops. And as you can see, we started to produce stuff, so to say. And here as well, but we just let them for now here, we don't care. Yes, interesting indeed. So now we can soon start to focus on our war effort. That's good. Now we start to produce a lot faster. I mean not produce here, I mean construct. Because we have a second construction slot here. Which is a nice thing, I can tell you that. So if Germany is can be a bit of a thing, I don't know how to call this. If you place Germany dead, then you are kinda wanting to start the war, because, pretty frankly, that's all that Germany wanted to do at this time. But you can actually gain most of Europe, or most of Central Europe here. I mean, you can Austria, Czech Republic, not Slovakia, Poland, and everything like here, and allies, and parts of Yugoslavia, getting by national focus and not by declaring war itself, which is a lot easier than to declare war. So we're going to design tanks. Now here you have all the three give 10% research time reduction, and then the difference is what bonus they give. For example, this reliability soft attack, hard attack and armor, and max speed and reliability. Now, at first, what you will have at first in front of you will be mostly infantry, which means soft attack. So I'm going with this, because only eventually later on that you will have facing tanks in enemies, so just as well make use of that. Also, I think it seems that tanks, the heavy tanks, first of all, they are not of much use. They're only of use against other tanks. They are not good against infantry and whatever. They have little to no soft attack, and I mean you can check that out in the research. We go here in the armor. So you can see the light tanks, they have mainly soft attack and some hard attack, but mainly soft attack. Later on the Leopard even more, higher soft attack and a little more hard attack. Now the heavies, they actually have the same. I didn't know that. They have hard. I mean, that's odd. Yeah, they actually have. Yeah, okay. I guess I was wrong with that. Okay, okay. So the light tanks, that's 2 oil for iron, for 19 soft attack, And then of course, yeah, that's something else. The problem is that you need chromium for this, which then again can be a problem in itself. But yeah, I was wrong about that. I really thought that the heavy tanks had less soft attack, which yeah was wrong. I can admit to that. Or just edit it out, but I won't. So you know. So yeah, now it's just about building units. And one thing is also that I learned that if you have units that are being made or built, trained, is first of all let them be trained to level 2. Don't deploy them earlier, because now if you can train them to get to level 3, but as long as you are building units and constructing and everything, you should not, because once you start training, they will have a 6% attrition effect on them, which means that they have a chance to break their equipment, which means they need to have replaced equipment. So basically, while they're training, you spend a small percent of your buildings, of your unit, of your productions, to replace the broken items, which means that you will lose up on building divisions. And it's easier to build several level 2 divisions than to drain them to level 3 and build less. So we just let them at level 2. And once later, if you have deployed a couple divisions, then you can start to train them up, which then also gives you arm experience. But don't do both at the same time, because it's also, I mean, it's more efficient to have a couple more 20 level 2 divisions than 10 level 3 divisions for a starter. Sometimes more is just better. Now what we're going to do is, now we can actually have, yeah, that's good. Oh my god, I know that's because, yeah. So let's see. Yes, we still need some rubber, so yeah, because I'm going to build 2 more of these, and then I will build some here. Just in case. Because I think they are built rather quickly. They don't cost a lot. I mean, one of these is like 8 of them, so yeah. Okay. Good. That's very good. Now, as you can see, we have 23 factories free to build. So yes, now we will have to check out what we can do. So to get the extra research slot, we have to go to the, what we need is crockery, which needs air innovations too, which needs tactical air, strategic air, or strategic USSR. One of the following. So yeah, we go with the army for now. As you can see, they're building nicely. adding some speed to our infantry equipment. Yeah, I'm wondering the tanks they are deploying as well. That's good. They're getting there. So you can see what we need most is we have to construct is the light tanks, and for example we don't need any artillery, so we have to move that down. We will add here, yeah, fighter. You always want to have fighters built. Fighters are the most important plane. After you can ask if you can check out if you want light fighters or heavy fighters, but fighters, I'm just saying fighters, I don't say light fighters or heavy fighters, I don't care really. Just build a lot of fighters, because the enemy air, everything air is only as strong as the enemy lets through. That means you can have a big ass huge bomber squadron, but you have no fighters, then it means it's just cannon fodder for the fighters. Everything in this game, everything in air, is dominated by fighters. And that's also going for ground, because if you have the air superiority, then you're pretty much winning the war. And you don't need to be, when I mean air superiority, I mean just having the strength to deny the airspace above you to the enemy. I mean, for example, if I can deny the airspace of here on the front line, I don't have to own this one here. Then at least I know that my troops won't be bombarded and smothered and everything, and don't get a negative effect. So that's just the most important thing here. So we're moving on. Again, this game can be somewhat boring in the beginning, but like I said before, I like to start in 36, because for me the main attraction of this game is the planning of the war, of the eventual conflict. But as I mean, to that point, I like to play to the point where it will become clear that there won't be much resistance left in the world. So once you beat at least one major faction, and not country, the factions like allies or Comintern or whatever. If you have beaten one, and yeah, then that means that you should be strong enough to beat the other as well, especially if you're no, it doesn't matter which one. Just at one point, you become too big to fail, so to speak. You're like the UBS of World War II. So let's see. That's good. Where we are with the construction. Once we get here, we should be able to. Yeah, that's good. For example, here we have a surplus now in tungsten. So yeah, that's another thing. It's always keep a check on that you're not importing anything that you don't need, because it will block your civilian factories, which means you will construct things slower. Now here is land doctrine research time, max armor, max speed. Yeah, why not? Now I'm gonna start the treaty with the USSR, which means that we can research our tank tree and so on faster and ahead of time, which is a good thing. because that's another thing. If you have two armies, I mean, friends like enemies. If the armies if you have two armies with the same numbers, the same strength, then it really comes down to the material, and so it's always good to have a little edge. The edge, in general, just an edge in front of the other countries. I mean, if you have the resources and the manpower, like Russia or so, or even like Russia, for example, or the States, then you can just build quantity over quality. But the Germans, you really have to stick to quality over quantity because you have a limited manpower pool, you have limited resources, unless you. That's why Germany had to attack everything, because they needed to have access to resources. For example, they have stockpiled oil and everything, and then when the war broke out, they had to go get the oil that was down here in the Ukraine and in the Romania, and they actually tried to reach here, the lands of Baku. I'm not actually sure if they went there. I don't think they went to Baku. I mean, here is Stalingrad, so I guess they are blocked before, maybe. But yeah, I figured for example, with Russia, the moment that you conquer the oil, for example, with the Italians, I went from down here, I think, of the Japanese. At the moment you get their oil fields, then that's basically over, because they cannot build anything more that makes any sense, except infantry and artillery. So yeah, this game is a lot about that. So yes, we have normally, yes, for the land tag. So yeah, we just keep with this. I mean, there's always the discussion if which doctrine is better, etc. Should you change? But I think in most cases, I think that you should stick with the one that you have. It's historical, for first of all, and it's usually the one most adapted. So we're going down with this line. So now, army, organization, division attack, division speed, army drill. Nah, that's not of much use of now. I mean, we really need some. Yeah, we can. Light aircraft gives us our fighters better. It will also research time, shorten the research time, so that's good. That's a head. Ah yeah, I will have to build paratroopers. Because yeah, we will rely on that. That's really small. But we give them a recon squad and we give them support artillery. And then we will train a couple of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 times. Because I will try to... Seriously, the phone is going to fuck my nerves. I know I could turn the sound off, but it's my wife, so it's better I heard it. Okay, like this. So, as you can see, we have built quite a lot of units already. That's nice. Which means we could actually... Oh yeah, we have to... Yes. So, as you can see now here we have units. So we will start to build new divisions. So plan a second division with 3 tanks. With... Let's like this. With 3 like here. And the other 2 here we go and put here. Take 2 infantry division out. Put them here, for example. And then we have... Yeah. We go with this, remove 1 and here. So we have 2 identical armies. It's nice to have a nice mix of units, and then later on you can always replace. Oh my God. So we're going to... Yeah, that's something I really don't understand, is why you cannot have a front line with more than 1 country. But whatever. Seriously, why not? And every now and then check out that you're building the right stuff. First of all, I really don't care about boats here. The navy is something that it's not much used in Germany. What is, however, could be of use would be naval bombers. So As you see, we have these we have filled. So we're going to build naval bombers like this. We're really going to make sure that this part is always garrisoned, so we're not getting anyone coming over the sea. When I say everywhere, someone and anyone, I of course mean the English. They're like that. Yes, yes. That's interesting. You can actually bypass all this to get here. That's interesting. This means that Japan will soon start their war against China. And that's something, when I remember the Japanese, this the moment they attack China, that China will band together, so to speak. China, this is China here. All of this is China. And yeah, I also seen that a lot of times Japan will get their ass kicked by China because the AI is really something that is not the strongest in this game, sadly. And yeah, I hope that it would get better over time, or maybe with mods. I haven't tried any mods yet. Oh, if you know of any ones that are good and worthwhile, please let them in the comment box and let a comment so I can give them a try, maybe. So yeah, we're producing unit just fine. Let's see what we have here, what we can add. Yeah, let's get them. Give them some air tag, so then of course we have to build. We have to build new of these items, of course, but I think it's always a good idea to have everything built. And it's also a good thing to have anti-air always. So right now we're going to like this. What we really need the most is this here, so we go with this, like this. Okay, now we have to check out as well the... I really don't know what this... let's put this. Where we are with the constructions. As you can see, we're building our forts here. Or what is this? Yeah, coastal fort. As you can see, we already have built these ones here. So this is going fast, and each coastal fort will give us 15% 50% penalty. So everything that's coming from here will have like a 50% penalty to attack, which means that we can basically means that you need twice as many troops to land against the numbers. You need twice the numbers the defenders have. That's a lot of stuff going on. Wow. So Japan declared war. We're going now for the second that additional research slot, because it's always nice to have more research slots. Maintenance. Maintenance is something that you want with your tanks. It's not necessary for it's less necessary for infantry, because they have less breakdown, or cheaper breakdowns, let's put it like this. I mean, I don't care if you have to build infantry equipment, it's just iron, and we have a lot of iron. But if you have to replace tanks because they broke down, you need you need oil for it. So you want them to be more reliable, so to say. Japan take out of China, and now you see that normally China should band together. Maybe not. Well, go and put a little break here.